with types of paints on ceilings, some people like low sheen and semi-gloss in wet areas, which looks really good. My wet areas, I normally do one colour, generally a white, unless the client specifies otherwise, and I go right over using a semi-gloss and a good paint which is designed for kitchen and bathroom, or it's got a good fungus repellent in it. When you're rolling ceilings, make sure you cover everything on the floor. You can guarantee that where you don't leave covered, you'll get paint on your carpet or whatever. It normally finds a spot that's not covered. Okay, so that ceiling has had one coat on. Let that dry. Make sure you got your window open when you're painting. I generally shut the door, but you want some airflow going through. So this dries. It's water-based paints, dry pretty fast, touch dry very quickly. So I can zip around and do that scotia the second time, which will be the finish. So I'll finish the scotia. That way, when I do the second coat up top, it dries enough so I can cut the walls and down the bottom, because I've got to cut that bottom edge of the scotia in with the wall colour, which in this case is half hog bristle. So what's the best clothing to wear when you're painting something? Well, you're going to get paint on it, doesn't matter what it is. So whatever clothing you wear, you're going to get paint on it. Now if you're doing ceilings and stuff like that, floppy hat or a cap is good, especially if you've got glasses on, because you're going to get splatters on you. Now I don't uphold to the white gear painter uniform because I'm a bit of a radical painter. I prefer to turn up and whatever gear I've got that I don't mind getting paint on. It's not a uniform as such, but in most cases I will wear a pair of Big W $9 jeans. Now these are Big W $9 jeans. $9. You can get as much paint on them as you want. And you can get a $5 t-shirt as well. So you'll generally not find me out there in white overalls with Dulux or Tallmans or Wattle on the back. You'll see me with jeans that have got paint on, because I'm a painter. I'm a painter man. Now a lot of times I will have Dunlop non-slip volleys up there on the roof and whatever, but if I am down amongst it, I'll probably have a pair of plastic clogs or something on. If I need to be on a building site, I'll have the proper gear as far as footwear is concerned, but I like to be comfortable when I paint, because I think painting is a very relaxing environment, and you've got to be very relaxed when you're applying that finished coatings, protective coatings, to get a smile from your client. Now we've got a second coat around the scotia on the ceiling, and that's drying out now, ready to cut the wall colour in. Now I'm going to start from the bottom to give it more time to dry up top, and then I'll start cutting the walls in. By that time the ceiling should have dried, and I should be able to apply a second coat. We'll see how we go. You're not meant to rush things with painting. You can't, if it's got to have a 24 hours to dry, you've got to let it have its 24 hours, especially when you're doing floor coatings and patios and verandas and decks. Got to make sure, if you're using any process, that you give it the time to dry. Midsummer you can rush things a little bit because things dry as soon as you put it on from the paintbrush. In fact, a lot of times it dries on your brush and your roller before you even get a chance to get it on. Spray finishes tend to dry pretty fast. Paintbrush, summer, winter, you need to give it a bit more time because of the temperature, humidity and all of that.